So I went ahead and purchased a wing I've been thinking about for some time. Ever since I did a demo on the Advanced I, I've always thought about it. At that time, I was doing some paramotoring and paragliding, and thought, well, I'll just stay with the Epsilon 9. I love that wing, but I'm no longer paramotoring for a variety of reasons. So I thought, well, what the heck? So I wanted a wing that was lightweight, easy to carry. I could do some hike and fly. And since I'm going to be flying a lot of Tory, I wasn't too concerned about the lightweight fabric and how that might be affected by the terrain other sites have, such as a lot of weeds, rocks, gravel. So here it is, the Advanced I, and just unpacking it here. It's always a thrill to unpack a new wing. Has all the advanced features that I've always liked. It does have poppers, a little different than what I've had in the past, but I kind of like these now. I've kind of changed my mind. I like the fact they don't all of a sudden just come off like in magnets. With paramotoring, you really want magnets, but for paragliding, I'm going to go with the poppers. So since this is a lightweight wing, you want to just be gentle, treat it with respect, don't drag it on the ground, which you probably should do that with every wing, but especially with a lightweight wing. Very light, moderate wind day today, and so it's going to be a great time just to see how it kites. Of course, it has the advanced turbo dorsal fin, which I'm sure really helps in flight. If I had to describe advanced wings, and really especially this wing, they're just really elegant. The design is simple, the color scheme is simple, but to me it's just perfect. I've always loved advanced wings. I've had other wings, and there's other great wings out there, but I always come back to advanced wings. I've had lightweight wings in the past, and sometimes the lines will tangle easily. The wings will get cravats pretty easily. When I was demoing the Psy in the past, I did not notice this. Everything seemed to be very smooth. I didn't get any cravats at all that I can recall. Of course, I didn't have it for a long time. But here you can see, yeah, this is a higher aspect ratio wing. I'm just kind of getting things set up to attach to my harness, and it will tend to swirl around a little bit. I would say the winds are about 8 to 10 knots on this day. So not bad, just very light. Hopefully we'll get a little bit more as the day goes on. It does have the same color coding for your harness attachment to the risers. I really like this. I've said in the past, this has saved me a couple of times where I look down and say, oh, I have that twisted. So very simple, easy to check and make sure you're all set up right. Okay, I've got the speed bar all set up. Here's a pro tip, don't set up your wings with the lines overlying your crap. That's not the best thing to do. Okay, I'm at the park on the grass, no big deal. Don't do this out in the field. So the wing comes up so easily. Again, this is a lightweight wing, but it's just a joy. It's super simple. I just kind of arched back and hardly used any A's at all. Just wants to stay right overhead. Again, this is not a real windy day, but there wasn't any tendency to overshoot me. Just a little bit of break, very slight, and I'll see how it is when the weather gets a little bit stronger. And of course, maybe because this is a lightweight wing, it's going to be a little more of a challenge to keep things all stable. Again, I'm just pulling back with my harness and not really the risers at all, or the A's at all. So what I'm doing here at the park is just practicing, playing, just getting used to the wing, trying to go from one end of tip to the other tip. So I think I was at the park. This is Mission Bay, by the way, in San Diego. Just a great grassy field. During the weekday, just hardly anybody's here. So I played around for about an hour, just launching, reverse launches, forward launches. It was great, but how about the real thing? So a few days later, back to my usual haunt at Torrey Pines. So a much better day for my first flight on my new SI than I had with the demo. On the demo, I was maybe able to do a few passes, but not enough to stay up. This is definitely a day where I'm going to be able to pretty much go north and south of the launch, just see how the wing is. So far, not crowded. Those of you who have watched my videos know that I like to get out of here before the crowds, especially before those tandems come out. It can turn into a real circus. And since the tandems are so unpredictable, I just stay really far away from them. It's a little overcast today. We'll probably get clearer as the day goes on, but just perfect. Just a nice day. No stresses whatsoever. A couple of other pilots are out right now. So really nice day to just enjoy my first flight on the Advanced SI. I'm always getting people asking me more about this area, Torrey Pines and the glider port. I did make a video a little while back, not too far back, so if you want to check that out, you kind of can get a full rundown in this whole launch and flying area of Torrey Pines. We're a little restricted how far we can go north and south. Well, actually we're a lot restricted, but it's long enough to make it a really nice flight going from the north to the south. And on a nice day, you can even get some thermals. Today, it's a little overcast, not going to get much thermals, but you know, it's just a really nice place to fly. And as long as you stay away from other pilots, as you should, very predictable, very safe. Top landing, as long as you're used to that, no problem. If it gets really windy, you can always land down at the beach and you can see the coastline there. Plenty of places to land. And if in doubt, just go to the beach. It's a lot safer than get blown back if you're trying to top land. And here's another pro tip. If you are going to fly at Torrey and you have any doubts about whether you can get back to top land, or you're thinking maybe it's going to be too strong to top land, you have to go to the beach, always check and make sure that the tide is not all the way in. Something that you might forget to do, you look down and you realize you're at a really high tide, and that tide level, that water will come right up to the cliffs and you're kind of stuck. You have no place to land if you don't want to get wet, that is, which you don't want to do. So Always check the tides. I guess that's anywhere that you fly along a coastline. So I've been flying the Advanced Sai now. I was up for about an hour, maybe a little bit more, and just going back and forth, getting used to the braking action. The turns are super nice. Again, this is not a hot wing. I've said that in the past. The brake travel is efficient. It's, again, not super twitchy. If you're looking for something with immediate response like a sports car, this is not it. But you get a great travel with the brake lines. You can make a turn using definitely the weight shift turning is fantastic. The harness I'm using does a really good job of that. Again, I have no seat board. It's simple, split leg, and really easy to do some nice weight shifting. I did some big ears on right side, left side, both sides. Very uneventful. Comes up very easily. Maybe a little bit of a tug on the brakes and completely back to normal, but very uneventful. The effectiveness of the speed bar was also much greater. Just flying a lot fast. I just noticed it right away as compared to my Epsilon 9. So that was also a real treat. Really picked up speed with the speed bar. So a lot more students are starting to fill in the launch area. Some tandems are going out, so I've been up, I've had my fun, I'm coming back in. So just kind of maneuvering around a little bit. Again, getting used to this wing. Really easy to move. I really like the way it can maneuver close to the ground. I pulled a little too much brakes than I should have right here. Should have just you can't really notice, but yeah, I should have just not as much braking action there. So I'm going to have to kind of work on that. Otherwise, just a wonderful flight. Really comfortable with the wing right off the bat. So I'm just walking my wing off to one side here. Again, I'm just trying to get a feel for it, maneuvering on the ground. I guess, not so much a pro tip, just a tip, and anybody would say this has been flying, just really get used to kiting. If you're new to it, never can kite enough. Matter of fact, if you're not new to it, just keep kiting. Man, that's just going to help you just when you're flying, you're landing. That's about 90% of it is controlling that wing. So again, really nice flying the Advanced Sai again. Love picking up a very lightweight wing, and it's really noticeable between this and the Epsilon 9. Again, I love the Epsilon 9, but I'm really loving the Advanced Sai, and this is going to be it for a while. I know I've said that, but this really is it. Very nice, comfortable wing, more of a high B wing, though I would say, gosh, you know, obviously you can do a little bit more with it, probably get into a little bit more trouble, so you want to be obviously very careful. It is lightweight materials. It may be prone to curvating a little bit more, especially if you're doing any aerobatics or you get caught, it may be in a situation you'd rather not be. So, love the Advanced Sai. I first started flying ultralights back in the 80s. Got into general aviation. I got my CFI and actually taught part-time for a bit. Got out of it, got back into paragliding, paramotoring, back into general aviation, got my glider rating, but I pretty much have gone full circle back to, I just want to paraglide. Boy, it's just wonderful. No noise. It's as free as I can get as a bird, and that's the bottom line. But there is another sport that I have really fond memories of. I used to sail quite a bit. I had 2 sailboats with my dad. We had one when I was in high school, and then again when I was in college. Some of the best memories that come to mind is me and my dad sailing. And I sailed a lot. Also sailed at a boathouse when I was in college. So I recently took a basic keelboat course just to sharpen up my skills. A friend and I had a great time. Also something I can do with my wife. But a lot of times I just go solo. I used to do that a lot. Just love it. Just love being out on the water. This is San Diego Bay, And there's even an airport right nearby, and it looks like that plane is going to land right on the water. It's just wonderful. Next best thing to flying, basically you're just using the lift of the wind, just like when I'm ridge soaring. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'll have a few videos now and then, but I think you've kind of seen all that I can film. And just really appreciate everybody who's written in. Really enjoy bringing these videos to you. And it's something I always do to just look back and just see how much I've enjoyed my flying. That's it for now. Take care and fly safe, or if you're in the water, remember, wear a personal flotation device, especially if you're going solo like I do. All right, take care. Bye-bye now.